Okay, let's cover example 4, solving a quadratic equation using grouping. I never really learned to necessarily do it this way, but I've come to enjoy it over the years. So this is not how we learned back whenever I was in seventh, eighth, ninth grade. I don't even remember anymore. But let's do this. So when you use fact grouping to factor and solve the quadratic equation, 4x squared plus 15x plus 9 is equal to 0. We're going to create two parentheses here. All right. And it's going to be taking the 4x squared. Actually, let me do this a little bit differently. Hold on, let me find an eraser. I'm trying to think how I want to explain this. I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to take the 4x squared and I'm going to take the 9. Those aren't going to change at all. And I'm going to fill it in. I'm going to take the middle term and I'm going to add new terms utilizing the 4 times 9. So 4 times 9 is 36. So I need two numbers that multiply together to give me 36 and they add together to give me 15. So two numbers need to multiply to give 36 and add to give 15, which is the middle term. All right. So if we think of 36, what terms could we use that will multiply to give us 36, but add together to give us 15? 36 is made of 36 and 1, 12 times 3, 4 times 9. So let's do this. 12 times 3, 4 times 9. That doesn't give us 13, 12. 13. Okay, so 12 and 3 are our winner chicken dinners. So it doesn't matter which place you put them in. So 12x and 3x. Those have taken the place of the 15x. All right. So now I want to create two different binomials from this. I want to take 4x squared plus 12x, and I want to put parentheses around them. We're still adding 3x plus 9, put parentheses around that. All right. What does 4x squared and 12x have in common? What can we factor out from them? Well, they have an x in common and they have a 4 in common. So I can factor out 4x. And when I factor out 4x from 4x squared, I'm just left with an x. And when I factor out 4x from 12x, I'm left with 3. Okay. The next one, what do they have in common? 3x and 9. They both have 3 in common. So when I factor for 3 from 3x, I get just an x. Oops, messed that one up. And then when I factor 3 from 9, I get just 3. All right. One more piece to this. Between this term and this term, what do they have in common? They have x plus 3 in common. So between those two terms, I'm going to factor out x plus 3. And when I do that, I'm left with 4x plus 3. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff happening there. But that's how you solve using grouping. Okay. The next piece to this is you're going to set each of these binomials equal to 0 and solve for x. So x plus 3 equal to 0 and 4x plus 3 equal to 0. Subtract 3 from both sides and I get x is equal to negative 3. The other one I need to subtract 3 from both sides. Well, just minus 3. I get 4x is equal to negative 3. And then 4 is attached to x by multiplication. Opposite of that is division. So I have to divide both sides by 4. And x is equal to negative 3/4. All right. Pause the video. Attempt this next one on your own and then come back to see how I did it. Okay. I'm going to start with my 12x squared. That's not going to change. The 2 is not going to change. I'm going to add 2 more numbers here. The number has to multiply 12 times 2, so it has to be 24. It has to multiply to give us 24, but it has to add to give us 11. So product has to be 24, and then sum has to be 11. Well, to do that, we've got 24 times 1, 12 times 2, 8 times 3, and 4 times 6. Those are the products for 24. Which of them will add up to give us 11? Nope. 14, 8, 9, 10, 11. Winner, winner, chicken dinner is 8 times 3. So 8x and 3x. All right. Between this term and this term, or binomial, between this one and this one, what do they have in common? Because I can put parentheses around these now and find what do they have in common between these two. Well, they both have 4 in common, so I can factor out a 4, and they have an x in common. So this leaves me 3x plus 2. All right, this one I can't factor anything out with. All right, now we have to look at this term and this term. What do they have in common? They both have 3x plus 2 in common. So I'm going to factor that out. When I factor 3x plus 2 from this term, I'm left with 4x. When I factor 3x plus 2 from this term, there's nothing there, but there is. There's always a 1. There's always a 1, so plus 1. Never plus 0, because if it was 0, 3x plus 2 wouldn't even be there. All right, I've got my 2 binomials now. I just need to set them each equal up to 0 and solve for x. All right, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. 3 is attached to x by multiplication. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. X is equal to negative 2/3. Subtract 1 from both sides. Divide both sides by 4. And x is equal to negative 1/4. Do not be afraid of fractions. We're going to be using a lot of them. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop this one and then I'll come back for the next one.